Aso deska wagatane. In other words, as they say in the Orient, we're back. And you know, we have a lady here, and Jessica, and we're talking about La Cocina. We're talking about food and entrepreneurship. We're talking about people of common virtue making life work on a common level. And we're talking about empowering women, and the fact that this thing has been around since 2005 and is still here and is growing. Its focus is on low-income women. So when somebody tells you you can't do something, look at this organization right here and you'll see that they're successful. 2005 and this is 2000, almost 2017. That's almost 11 years. Am I right? Did I get that one right?
That math is correct, yes.
Oh my God, heavens of Murgatroyd. Tell me something. Where are you going with this? How much do you want to expand over a long period of time?
So we've thought about this a lot over the course of the past 5 years, and really our next big plan is something that we're really excited about. We are really interested in opening a food hall. And
oh my God. Lord have mercy. Really, a food hall?
A food hall, yes. So the idea behind this is that, you know, you see food halls across the country, different iterations of food halls. Some of them are city supported and are really centers of the community, and they're accessible to people who live in the community. Other food halls are, you know, beautiful and they have really high quality products and food, but they're really expensive as well, and they're not something that is available to anyone who wants to go in there. And so our vision for a food hall here in San Francisco would be sort of this third space variety, a space that was a community space that people could come to, that they could get an affordable meal and that they could buy it from somebody who looks like them, and that they could have an array of options to choose from. Our vision is a place where you know, there are 8 to 10 La Cocina vendors at any one point, and people could come, they could come and hang out, not necessarily have to buy anything. They could come with their families. We would have programming as part of it that would, you know, be complementary to other nonprofits in the neighborhood where we open this food hall. So thinking about what resources we could provide to the community as part of that, but that's really our next big vision and how we see growing this. One of the advantages of a food hall for small business owners is that the costs that are associated with opening a restaurant, like rent, like maintenance, labor, all of your utilities are shared. So it's less burden for one entrepreneur to manage. So sort of like a commercial kitchen, which is a shared space, therefore the costs are reduced. It's not like owning your own commercial kitchen. That's sort of the idea behind the food hall, is that it really be this beacon in San Francisco of diversity, of inclusivity, of you know, people coming together and uniting over food.
You know, in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, into the early 60s, food halls across the country were very well done. You know, in the 50s, when I was hitchhiking across the country, they had food halls everywhere. You know, it was a phenomenon that I couldn't see going away, but it did go.
Yeah, you know, there's still, I think it's the second wave of food halls. There are obviously historical food halls that have existed, you know, around the world, and I think food halls really have born out of these marketplaces that have been around for thousands of years. And it's sort of this place where humans coming together to buy and sell things, to share with one another, that has existed in our culture for years and years. And you see, you know, sort of the second wave of food halls here in San Francisco. There are several food halls, like the hall on Market Street, for example, which was opened as a temporary activation just for a few years. But that's really our goal and our vision for the following year.
Eyez.
Hi.
Sitting over there.
Yeah.
Ah, baby. You know what? We're going to get you in this conversation.
Okay.
Give us an idea of what do you think all this is about.
I think it's about opening up a food hall.
Oh my God. Yes, it is.
So.
Everybody can eat.
Yeah.
For a good price.
Okay.
That's about what it is. Am I right?
That's what we're aiming for. I think that it's it's harder than it sounds because obviously food has a cost.
Yeah.
But it's possible. And I think that it's, going back to what I said earlier, it just takes real thought and intention. And really beyond that, I think we see parts of the city and people in the city who, even though this is a foodie-centric city and we have so many amazing options for food, we see a lot of people being left behind in that sort of movement who can't afford to access,
Healthy food.
Yeah. Those meals. So another aspect of the food hall is we want to, have fresh produce there. We want to figure out how we can accept Cal Fresh or SF Eats dollars. That way, people who might not traditionally be able to afford it can come and they can be a part of that and be an equal part of that.
Well, you know what? Price is important. Am I right? Cost.
It is important, and I think that if something is, perceived as being expensive, that it can feel sort of polarizing or make you not want to go into a space or be a part of a space. And, it could be the other way around too, like the people who are opening spaces and having their food at a certain cost. You're saying that this is for people who can afford this at this price, and there is an exclusionary element to it, definitely.
Do chefs usually grow their own herbs?
I think that a lot of chefs here in the Bay Area source their herbs from local farms or at the farmers market. I know there are a few restaurants that are sort of growing their own herbs, their own vegetables to use in their own production, like the Perennial, which is a new restaurant that's really focused on that. But generally they source it from local farms.
Yeah, because I ate at one restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia. Whenever she made an order, she just snipped a little of the ingredients off of her plants. I think that's a real good idea for most food businesses. They grew their own stuff, but of course, she's probably more of an expert at it than me because I have a mint plant and it's always dying. So.
But it's funny how that's so memorable for you is watching somebody snip something that they've grown and serve it to you. I think that
exactly.
human element is definitely real. In regards to our food experiences and what we value.
And the food was real good too. It was a vegan restaurant, so I used to try to eat vegan a lot. But she made these rolls, like the kind of like a spring roll. What are those spring rolls called? The kind that aren't fried.
Like a fresh spring roll?
Yeah.
Vegetarian spring roll?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. But she made it like breakfast style, so it had like jelly on top or something. Ooh. It was really good.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I know.
We're all gonna go for lunch after this, right?
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about diversity, and things like that. We're also talking about health, am I right?
Yeah.
Eating something that is healthy. Having a full hall that declares itself a healthy entity to this community, am I right?
Yes.
Yes. So you are right. We want to have food in there that is healthy, that is accessible to people. That's definitely a major part of it. And another big aspect of why we want to open a food hall for us is because oftentimes our businesses are ready to enter into brick and mortars, at their year 3 in our program, but the opportunities aren't widely available. Commercial real estate, like we talked about earlier, is insane, and so opening food hall gives us an opportunity to be less reactive and more proactive about creating opportunities for entrepreneurs. So if we could, in one fell swoop, create a constant 7-day-a-week sales opportunity for 8 to 10 of our businesses, that would be pretty impactful in their lives.
If you could imagine a space in the city of San Francisco that you could do that in, and it would be successful over a long period of time, what space would you envision, and how much you think you could actually have to pay for something like this?
So that's a really good question. I think finding a space, the right space, is really challenging. One, because it has to be a space that's large enough to host a food hall. Two, it has to be in a space where there is foot traffic, so that people actually come to it. We actually just submitted an RFP to the city of San Francisco to open a food hall at 101 Hyde Street in the Tenderloin.
Oh, really?
In the abandoned post office that is there. So we will hopefully find out soon whether or not we are selected for that opportunity. The city, we think, has close to $1 million in capital to dedicate to renovations on the site. We would fundraise for the rest. Our cost to renovate and build the space would be $1.5 million at,
So how big is
at
it?
bare minimum.
How about?
I'm not sure of the exact square footage. I want to say 27,000 square feet.
Wow, that's nice. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
The
old
post
post office.
Yes.
That's about 35,000 square feet.
35,000.
Yeah, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Total floor space is 35,000.
So that's the space we have our eyes set on.
That is outstanding.
Well, good luck on
And
that.
so that's when we're really thinking of the community development of, what do people in the Tenderloin who are living in this community that, is really the heart of San Francisco.
Right. Well, the Tenderloin is growing too.
The Tenderloin's growing too, and it's, sort of in the middle of, a very rapidly changing downtown.
Right.
It's a very, there's opportunity there.
The fact of the matter is downtown is changing also, and with the onslaught of the tech industry, I think a food hall in that area, because people get tired of cooking in the evening and trying to cook, and half of them don't know how to cook anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're techies.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, thanks to fast food.
what do you say?
Thanks to fast food.
They love fast food, so that would be a healthy alternative.
There's this new restaurant where you walk in and you select what you want on a tablet, and then like a robot makes it for you. Like, that's really cool. Except for they didn't give me my order right, but I don't know. I was bringing that up because that's the kind of that's what the society's change into. Like, press a button and boop, it's there. So I think that people lose the healthier aspect of food, and it gets frustrating for people who aren't necessarily looking to eat fast food all the time, but they don't have the finances to eat healthy, or they don't have access to healthier alternatives. Like, a lot of times chips are less expensive than nuts or cheese, and that's nature's fast food, but they charge more just for like nuts. So yeah.
I think in the city of San Francisco, I think it will be very successful for the fact that, again, the Tenderloin is moving toward more of a tourist trap now. It's really, and a resident.
Yeah, and that's sort of what we're trying to combat against with this food hall.
Right.
We want our primary clientele to be
Local.
residents of the Tenderloin community.
Right.
So we want to be very thoughtful about how we market the place, of the aesthetics of the place. We have partnered with a really great design firm called LMNOP, and they have a branch called Kid Mob that's kid-centered design. So as part of our project, we'd have a project manager who does community outreach with the Tenderloin Housing Clinic, who really goes in the community and does community meetings and takes a real investigation into what do people actually need. So we're not trying to come in with like top-down solutions. We want to sort of figure out what are the remaining needs here, what can we provide, how can we best serve those people, because they deserve it. And we feel very conscious about making it be a place that aesthetically is very welcoming, and serving, local workers in the area, at government buildings and the many arts buildings there. So that's really our primary objective.
I would wager to say that the construction industry would love you guys, because those guys, most of them are commuters,
Yeah.
so they don't have time to go home and eat.
Yeah.
That's one of the big problems about the way the city is growing. People here don't have the time to travel to Antioch, or as far as Tracy, Mountain House, Stockton. They have buses coming from Stockton every day. So to be able to eat, I think you would be very successful in the fact that, you're serving healthy food and everything like that. And I think the city should actually give you guys a variance on that situation, because that there is a lot of people here in the construction industry. There's at least 20 buildings going up in the city of San Francisco at any given time. Am I right? A lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we actually don't feel worried about people coming to it. We think people will love it. Our worry is about it remaining a place that serves people in the Tenderloin first. So we want to have a really soft opening and make sure that residents in the community come first, that they really shape that space before other people come, because we think that it's a really hard balance to strike, and we understand that it's challenging. We want to be really conscientious about it.
So your target market is residents.
Residents, exactly. First and foremost.
Wow.
That's great.
That's different.
Yeah, and
That's different. The last thing our city needs is another food hall that caters to the rich elite.
Yeah.
Wow. Tell me something. Employment there it's going to be astronomical, am I right?
Employment?
Employment.
Not astronomical. So we actually, as part of this, we want to hire from within the Tenderloin community exclusively. We especially feel it's important that the security guards we hire come from within the community. We are going to be hiring, a few sort of like maintenance people and a few bartenders and that sort of thing. I think we'll hire maybe 10 to 12 staff people in total. And the businesses will come and they have their independent employees. But we're excited about it. We want to bring back the chessboards that used to be out on Market Street and have them outside so people can come and hang out and play chess and really have it be a community space.
You want to bring back the old days when people were people and things were things and people matter and things matter.
And
Exactly.
people stop looking at their cell phones all day.
Exactly.
Well, a cell phone, I'm going to get off script a little bit. I was watching a guy on his cell phone tweeting, and he walked right into a car this morning in Oakland, Berkeley.
Really?
Wow.
You saw that?
And yeah, I saw that. And the guy was stopped.
Smooth.
The car was stopped, but he walked right into. So our attraction, my point is, our attraction is anywhere else but when something is doing good for us. This is a good thing. Is what my point is. This should be able to go out and actually help a lot of people. There is almost 35,000 people, about 40,000 people in that one section up there by, I think that's Jones Street, or up there by going up Larkin. There's almost 40,000 people, residents in that area, 40,000.
Yeah, and a lot of families too.
Okay, we're gonna take a short break here. We're gonna
Okay.
come back with the family thing, okay? All right. And we're back again. And we had Eyez here. We're having a
Hi.
good conversation about the growth of good food coming back, natural food. The word natural right now is kind of convoluted in our society because genetically engineered stuff now is being called somewhat natural stuff. But what we're looking at is a kitchen in San Francisco in the Tenderloin that's going to serve, and I would say maybe 6,000 to 8,000 people a week, building that size. Am I right?
Right. That's a lot of
It's
people
a lot of people
and a lot of food.
and a lot of food. 6,000 to 8,000 people, but
Yeah, and a lot of these businesses, they don't even necessarily market themselves as being healthy food businesses. You know, that's
Really?
not their explicit purpose. They use whole ingredients and they use, you know, fresh ingredients, and they're often, you know, conscious about their sourcing and where they get ingredients from. But they're just producing food that's something that is natural to them. That's something that they've known, that they've brought with them. That's the way that they know how to do it, you know.
there's nothing like a natural herb.
Yeah.
Nothing. Am I right, ladies?
Yeah.
Taste,
Yeah.
what it does to your body, how it just accentuates who you are, where you are health-wise.
Okay.
Okay, herbs are very important. Who came up with this idea of a food kitchen in the Tenderloin? Who brought that into the thought?
So the idea was really born out of us as staff, you know, led by our leadership team, our executive director and our deputy director. Really, you know, having worked at Cocina for so many years and really understanding the challenges that small business owners face and finding viable spaces for themselves in the community and starting to get creative about, well, if I can't just open a regular restaurant because it's so expensive, what else can I do? So, you know, in that vein, they launched the Street Food Festival, and they, you know, had a mobile vending program. They became an advocate for other shared spaces and got our entrepreneurs to participate in them, like 331 Cortland, like Second Act on Haight. We had one of our vendors with us also at the Hall on Market Street. And eventually, it just sort of, you know, was kind of like the natural next step that, okay, yeah, we are at the point where our organization has grown, where this is something that we know how to do, that we can do successfully, and we're ready to take on this challenge. And it's something that we're excited about. And it's something that we've been dreaming about, and something that we think about a lot. We, you know, are constantly talking about the state of our city and the challenges and the work that needs to be done and what we can do to support our small business owners. And so this is a real way that we can do that and to create an opportunity for them.
With the migration of the tech industry coming in here, I think this is going to be a good thing. Do you?
In regards to
Growth.
growth
And support.
of our city,
Right.
I think that there are positives to having tech in the city, but I think there are also a lot of challenges.
I agree with that. But I think we can overcome anything that's, you know, that's a problem out there. People need to eat. This sounds like a damn good idea. This sounds like something that's going to really go over good.
Well, we hope Juan Carlos at the city thinks so.
So when are you guys going to start putting this thing together on paper?
We put it all together.
All
We submitted a beautiful 98-page proposal
Woo.
to the city
98
on the
pages.
21st of
98
November. So we have done the work and are now just waiting to hear back.
How long did it take to come up with like the whole 98 pages?
So we had a pretty big team supporting us. We at La Cocina wrote the business plan. We had a team of volunteers who specialize sort of in architecture, construction, and real estate, help us with all of the financial projections and with putting together the entire proposal. We worked with a really great architecture firm, so that's sort of, it was many people working together, and I think, you know, the RFP was released sometime in October, so we maybe did all of this in a month.
Wow.
That is cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We feel really excited and really proud.
You got a lot of support.
You know, this is just the idea though, so I think that the real challenge is, if we get this opportunity, making sure that it's the sort of space that we want it to be.
So what does it look like now that will or will not get to space at this particular moment?
We don't really know. We don't have a real sense for what that possibility is. I think that we are optimistic. We think that we are a excellent candidate for the space, and we, you know, by the proposal, we met all of their requirements tenfold, and we submitted a very thorough, wonderful proposal. So I would be surprised if we didn't get the opportunity, but if we don't, it's not the end of our food hall dream for us.
Okay, now that's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you know what, it's important to people to have, you know, good nutrition right now. I mean, stress is a major factor in people, and you know, in the way they come to jobs and job stress, and you know, and with the coming political picture, we're looking at the fact that a place like this will be very instrumental. You know, I think, you know, you're going to make it very well.
I appreciate your confidence.
Serious. You know, if you look at it, you know, geographically where it's laid out, maximum density. We got to look at that. That's the first thing they look at, am I right? Maximum density. The second thing is, well, affordability in San Francisco somewhat. Okay. The third thing is the foot traffic, because foot traffic is important. You know, you have maximum foot traffic there. And the fourth thing is accessibility. It's right in the middle of the city where everybody, all the buses and everybody come past that, am I right?
Exactly, yes.
You know, so you meet all that criteria. So how does that make you feel?
Really excited. You know, I think that like I said, we spend so much time thinking about our city. I think that we all feel really responsible for helping to create the sort of city that we want to live in. And this is a really active way for us to participate in building that city, and building a city that has spaces in it that are open to everyone, regardless of their socioeconomic status, and that are real places in the community where people can come together, be together.
Fostering neighbors and neighbors, am I right? I want to ask you a question. What do you feel would be the best asset for your restaurant in the fact that the kind of food that they're going to put out?
I think that one of the best assets for the food hall is the range of food. And I think that, you know, we can have a Vietnamese food vendor, a Nepalese food vendor, a Mexican food vendor, just a range of different types of food that people can come, and you can have one thing on Monday, you can have another thing on Wednesday, and another thing on Friday. And so I think that diversity of food options is really intriguing to eaters.
Right.
So I think that's sort of one of the major competitive advantages of having a food hall. And then also, if it's a space that people just want to come to and they want to hang out and, you know, bring a book and read, then that's even better.
What made you think of the checkerboards on Market Street?
That was actually our executive director, Caleb Zegas, who remembers these checkerboards and absolutely loves them. And he spends a lot of time thinking about placemaking in our cities and what are the positive things in cities that we can bring back. And I think that those chessboards were removed because the city didn't want to maintain them anymore. And so we're saying that we'll maintain them, we'll do this, we're happy to.
Wow.
That's a good idea. Because
Yeah,
you're keeping the culture in. So, that's a really good idea.
Things are moving and shaking pretty fast. So
Yeah.
what's the timeline on this?
So if we are approved, our timeline that we submitted was to break ground in the early start of next year and to open in the final quarter of 2017.
2017?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty
quick.
good.
That's quick, yeah. So as part of this, the city wanted to activate the space quickly, just so that there was, something positive there. So we had to, say we can do this on a quick timeline.
Wow. What's that, 6 or 7
You guys are
months?
working hard. Y'all are working double hard.
Yeah, they are.
Well, we're not actually breaking any rubble. Hiring other people to do that, but
It's still making a difference. It's moving pretty fast.
yeah, it's exciting. It's really exciting.
There's 105,000 people total in the Tenderloin, from what I understand. Families and residents. That's a lot of people.
105,000
Right.
in the Tenderloin or the entire district?
The entire district.
Okay.
Am I about right on that figure? That's the figure I heard 3 or 4 months ago.
I am not sure on the district, on the figure for the entire district. I believe that the figure for the Tenderloin itself is close to 30,000.
So the entire district of 105,000 people is realistic.
Yep,
That's a lot of people to feed.
it is.
That's a lot of people who gonna want to eat because, if affordability is the number one element here, that means they can eat there quicker than they can cook and less expensive than they can cook.
Yeah,
Have you ever cooked a pot of something lately?
yes.
Expensive, isn't it?
It depends. I guess the things that I normally cook are like beans, so pretty affordable.
Well, I like beans, but I like chicken. What I do is I have a crock pot, I just take all this stuff, chicken, put some broth in it, and then come back in the evening and it's done. But it's still you're still gonna spend $40, $50,
Yeah.
$40. So we're looking at accessibility. Give me an idea what the city thinks of this. Do you know at this point?
So I think that they consider us as a very legitimate candidate. When they released the RFP for a activation on the site, they mentioned, something like a food hall in the RFP. They explicitly said that. So, and they invited us to apply. So I think that they consider us to be a real contender.
Okay. You want to tell people where you came from?
So I came from.
Where you came from, what your experience in all this is, I understand you've been to South America?
Yes.
You live in South America?
I lived there for a short while, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I grew up in the Central Valley of California. Grew up with a single mom and, saw sort of a lot of scenarios in that area that made me just sort of reflect on who I was as a person and what I could do to make the world that I wanted to live in a reality. And after high school, I went to college. I graduated ultimately from San Francisco State. After I graduated, I spent some time teaching about human trafficking in high schools here in the city. And then I interned at another nonprofit here in the Mission called Global Exchange, which is a human rights organization, and I did development work there. So I learned about fundraising and writing grants. And then I moved to Peru in the first part of 2015.
What was that like?
It was incredible. It was really great. I was volunteering the entire time I was there. So it was unfortunately short-lived. I was only able to be there for, a little over 4 months. But I was teaching art at the time, and I was working with the Women's Artisan Program in product development. So, being able to work with a woman and being able to visit her in her home and see that, her loom took up 75% of her house, but it was also
Her loom.
But it was like her way to make money for herself or her family, regardless of whether or not her husband was contributing or not. She was economically self-sufficient. She had a way to make money for herself. And so our job was to connect their crafts with international audiences to sell them, to make money for them. So it was a really incredible experience. Feel really grateful to have had it. I got to hone in on some of my Spanish skills. And then I moved back here to San Francisco and started working at La Cocina shortly after.
You know what? You've been quite a humanitarian all your life.
I wouldn't say humanitarian, but I have always felt that I want to spend my time doing something that's beyond just myself.
So you're unselfish.
I wouldn't say I'm unselfish. I am by no means a perfect human being.
That's not what I said.
I definitely, I think that, spending my time helping other people makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And I think that there's real value to that. I think the greatest gift is giving. I think that I get a lot out of it personally. I feel like I'm doing my time doing something I care about. And more importantly, I feel like when I look around at the world and I see all the things that are upsetting me, it's not something where I can just kick back and be like, well, somebody else is going to do that.
Yeah.
That I have a feeling like, okay, I have a responsibility with all of my privilege to do something.
Yeah.
Wow. You're a dedicated individual.
You're a hard worker.
Yeah, you are.
Thanks, guys.
You want to
I
tell...
mean, you guys here too on the radio, like having these conversations and hosting people. I think that is definitely equally as important.
We're going to take a short break here. Yow there, folks, as they say down south there. Riding horses and mules in the desert or something like that. We're here. We're talking to La Cocina, Jessica from La Cocina, and we're listening to some of the astronomical stuff and the stuff that they're doing as entrepreneurs and actually getting involved in the community. Excuse me. And getting involved in the community. We want you to tell us, give us some history of some of the vendors that you have.
Yeah, so if you guys go to our website, lacocinasf.org, you can find a map on the homepage that has all of our graduate businesses and our businesses that are in incubation, that are in farmers markets, of where to find them. One business that recently opened here in the Mission is El Buen Comer, and it's 3435 Mission Street. Mission and 30th are the cross streets. And Isabel Pazos is the owner, and she actually immigrated from Mexico in the late 1990s and started running an informal restaurant out of her Tenderloin apartment. So she would have people, word spread that she was a phenomenal cook, and she would make comida corrida, which is a, typical home-style cooking in Mexico City, which is like tacos de guisados and rice and beans, and people would come, other expats from the Ramos Milan community would come, and they would, her apartment would be filled with people and kids running around, and she saw one of her friends, Veronica Salazar, who was actually one of our first graduates on Univision, and 3 La Cocina staff members visited her in her apartment. She joined our program in 2009, I believe. And we got her a spot at the Noe Valley Farmers Market, where she sold every Saturday and sort of gained a very loyal following. And just this last year in May, she was able to open her own 45-seat restaurant in Bernal Heights. It's a beautiful space.
Wow.
And the owner of the space actually approached La Cocina and offered this opportunity to one of our businesses, and we took her to meet Isabel, and Isabel's chilaquiles really sealed the deal. And she paid for the entire build out of the restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah, and offered Isabel a 15-year lease, so it's pretty incredible and, you know, really inspiring to see how community members can really come together to create opportunities.
So how's it going?
for people. It's going so well. I mean, you know, they say that people who are really phenomenal cooks in Mexico have something called saison, which is like they have just like this skill or this talent, and they just know the flavors so well. And that's what people say about Isabel. And so she has been, you know, written up multiple times in the San Francisco Chronicle. She's received a ton of great press. People have said that she's on like Eater's best brunches in the city. She has great reviews on Yelp, and people just keep coming back to her restaurant and referring it to friends. And really, the incredible caliber of her food really speaks to it for itself. And she said that she wants people to feel like her restaurant is a home, and that you can come there and anyone is welcome. That she wants Mexicans to come, she wants Americans to come, she wants people from all different backgrounds to come. She wants to give them her food because that's what she has to offer.
You know, small restaurants like that develop into neighborhoods are long-stay restaurants. I've seen some in the San Francisco neighborhoods for years and years. You know, they ain't been there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good story. You got another one to tell us?
Yeah, so I'll tell you another one. So another great story is one of our businesses, Dilsa Lugo, who owns a restaurant called Los Cilantros in Berkeley. And
Los Cilantros?
yes, yeah.
Is that
It's right next to La Peña Cultural Center.
yes.
I know where that is.
That's one of yours?
Yep. Yeah,
Get
so Dilsa used to be a horticulturist in Mexico. She moved here, and she was working at a restaurant. She was washing the windows, and her son came by, and he said, "Mom, you're so great at washing those windows." And she had this moment, and she was like, well, if I'm gonna be like really great at something, or if I'm gonna be the best at something, I want to be the best at something that I care about, something that I really want to do. And so she joined La Cocina, opened her own restaurant. She is a phenomenal cook. If you've ever tried any of her food, it's really just out of this world. And she's also, you know, received a lot of really wonderful press about her journey and the incredible food that she serves, her sopes.
I've been to that restaurant once.
I've seen it.
Yeah, like I didn't really eat. I had something to drink, but I remember they have a piano in the corner, right?
I'm not sure if they still do, but it's very likely.
Yeah, I've been there once. They were nice.
How many entrepreneurs you have under your umbrella right now?
We have 31 currently in our program, which is really exciting. And we just had one more application round this past month. So we're likely to accept another 2 entrepreneurs, which will put us at 33.
Do you track these entrepreneurs and how they're doing in business?
Oh yeah, we definitely do. So every year we record their finances for that past year. We do a lot of like analysis of it in terms of, you know, what is the growth of a business, their other program, from year to year, that sort of thing. But yes.
Marketing. Do you help with marketing?
Yes, that's a big part of what we do. We have marketing as part of the curriculum that businesses receive when they first join La Cocina, the first 6 months they're not producing out of the kitchen, and they're just having sort of like an intensive mini MBA program in product, finance, marketing, and operations. So we help them with marketing. If they, we pair them up with volunteers to sort of help them with social media. Oftentimes there's like a computer literacy level that, you know, people need to get comfortable with. What is Instagram? What is Facebook? So, you know, teaching them how to use those tools to market their business and tell their story, because they have such great stories and people respond to them well. And, you know, a lot of people are constantly on social media, so teaching them how to really activate those areas and use them to their advantage.
If you want to locate all of your 31 vendors, how would they do it?
Visit our website, lacocinasf.org, and like I said, right on the homepage there, if you just scroll down a little bit, there's a map that has all of our businesses there. We also just launched a new membership campaign today, so for as little as $10 a month, you can become a member of La Cocina, and you will receive a printed map that is quite beautiful, and you'll receive a passport to dine your way through all of our graduate restaurants in the Bay Area and receive stamps that we redeem for gifts at the end of the year. So I encourage you to visit and find out what you can do to help support our organization.
Who samples food at your restaurants and give their idea of how good it is?
So when businesses interview, we sample their food. That's actually a big part of it.
Well, I'd like that.
Yeah.
That's the part I'd like.
So, you know, we do have an advisory committee, and we have people come from outside La Cocina. So if you're interested in joining us for some interviews, you're welcome to join us.
Can I eat?
Yeah, that's exactly what you do. Somebody shares their business plan with you, and you offer feedback in areas that they can continue to work on, and you try their food. And, you know, we really feel that it's important to be honest with people about the quality of their food, and which is ultimately the product that they're selling. And so we only accept businesses in our program that we think will be viable in a very competitive marketplace.
You screen people very carefully.
Yes.
Over how much of a period of time?
So we can speak with entrepreneurs before they apply for any amount of time. You know, and I think that oftentimes when there's language barriers, cultural barriers, people often maybe feel a little bit nervous or shy about coming to an organization and receiving their help. So we do a lot of follow-up work with new businesses that we meet. And we have a drop-in market that we host a few times a year where entrepreneurs bring their food, and we pay them $25, and we all sample it, and they get real-time feedback on their product. And then during the application period is when they have the most intensive overview.
32 people.
31 right now. We're accepting another 2, most likely, so 33.
Well, what is the gross in dollars on all 31 of these businesses?
So it's really interesting. Last year, the businesses in our incubator program, so not including our graduates, just the businesses in our incubator program, they earned close to $3 million in revenue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, which is really, I mean, they're contributing to the economy in a real way. And they hired 125 employees. I think of that 69 were full-time, the rest were part-time and contract. So
you figured the average employee has a mate, or it affects a family of 2.5 people on the average. You know, that's pretty doggone good.
it's pretty good.
Not bad. That's not bad stats at all.
Yeah, and I think what's cool about small businesses is that they hire from within their communities, that they are, you know, like Beanie, who's from Nepal, she hires a lot of Nepalese immigrants. Reem, who has the Eyez street food business, Reem's California, she hires a lot of other people from Arab descent.
Reem Nazara.
Reem Asil.
Wow.
Yeah, so I believe our first graduate, Veronica, or one of our first graduates, Veronica Salazar, who has a restaurant in Marin called A Huarache Loco. I think she has over 22 employees. Yeah,
guys are doing pretty damn
Hashtag
good.
boss lady.
Yeah. All women.
95% of our program participants are women. In the spirit of being truly inclusive, we don't have a policy about not accepting men into our program, but we sort of want to level the balance of male business owners versus female business owners, and so we primarily support women.
I feel like I want to go eat now.
Yeah, I think this whole radio show, everyone's been hungry. It makes you hungry.
Well,
listening.
if you're in the Bay Area, you can come by our kitchen at 2948 Folsom Street or send me an email. My email is jessica@lacocina.org, and we can set up a time to give you a tour of the kitchen. We're always really happy to do that.
Oh, great.
Wow.
That sounds
$3
awesome.
million impact.
Yep.
That is, I was sitting here thinking maybe 600, 700,000, 800,000, 850,000, maybe $1 million, but $3 million impact on the economy.
It's pretty incredible, right?
Hey, folks out there, give the people out there some addresses where they can go eat. Can you do that? You got a list?
So I don't have a list on me, but there's many places. So if you are downtown, you can go to Onigili. You can go to La Luna Cupcakes. If you are here in the Mission, you can go to De Eyez on 24th Street, to El Buen Comer at 3435 Mission Street. If you're in Marin, El Huarache Loco. If you're in Walnut Creek, you can go to Sabores del Sur.
Wow. Now cupcakes, that's my favorite food right there. How many bakeries do you have?
So we have a few. We have La Luna Cupcakes. We have Sweets Collection.
Oh.
And she, Kelly Zubel is the owner of Sweets Collection. She actually made Steph Curry's birthday cake last year.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. She made this really great basketball shoe.
Okay.
Sort of our claim to fame.
Oh, great.
And then we currently have those are both graduates. We have a baker in our program named Tina Stevens, and she's from Oakland, and her bakery is called A Girl Named Pinky. And
I think I've heard of that.
so she doesn't have a brick and mortar location yet, but she's selling her stuff, through private catering. She does really beautiful custom cakes for any occasion. And she's also selling her cookies and cupcakes at our kiosk in the Ferry Building. But you can find her on Facebook. You can, just
A girl called Pinky.
A Girl Named Pinky.
Named Pinky.
I've heard of her.
Yeah, she makes really beautiful cakes, really beautiful cupcakes, and really intricate designs in them. She made these really beautiful Halloween cookies with little skulls on them. She made a vote cupcake for election day.
You guys just made me hungry.
Wow. Well, I'd love to tour all the bakeries.
So people can tour any of the sites that they want to tour when they come through you? Is that the way that works?
So we offer tours of the kitchen. All you have to do is email one of us to set it up. And all of our emails are on our website. And then we also have started doing walking tours around the city. We recently did one as part of our conference. So Caleb, our director, and myself, we led 60 people on 2 walking tours, starting at the Ferry Building, and then going down Market Street and ultimately ending at the Proxy in Hayes Valley, and just talking about how food can transform a city.
Wow.
So, if anyone is interested in going on a self-guided tour, I'd be happy to share that information with them.
Yeah, share it with
throw a
me.
ringer at you. Okay, go ahead, Eyez.
Oh, I just said share it with me.
You got it.
Where are you going career-wise?
I actually feel so happy to be at La Cocina. Sometimes I pinch myself, like, is this my real job? I get to hang out with these incredible women. who are so inspiring, so intelligent, and so hardworking, and who coincidentally also love to feed us. So for the foreseeable future, envision myself remaining at La Cocina. We are continuing to grow, and I'm excited to be a part of that growth. I do our communications, and I also do our fundraising. So,
do you have a limit on the number of people you accept into the program? How many do you think you'll have in the next 3 to 5 years? Because it seems to be growing very slow, but very intense.
So we don't have a limit per se. We have 3 application rounds per year, and we'll accept anywhere from 3 to basically 5 entrepreneurs for any round. It's not that we have a limit, it's that we only accept candidates that we think are going to be successful, because once somebody enters our program and they enter the kitchen, they're spending some of their own money to make this dream possible, so we want to make sure that it's something that we can really get behind. So we historically have accepted 5 to 8 businesses a year. This past year, we really wanted to have a new concentrated recruitment strategy and increase that number. So we accepted so far 10 entrepreneurs into our program, and then with the 2 that I'm pretty sure we're going to accept, we'll be at 12 for the year.
So you're going to have 40 people, about 40 people?
So we'll have 33.
33?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you have...
And then next year, we'll accept more people, but we'll also hopefully be graduating people, exiting them into new spaces. So it's sort of like a constant cycle. And when you visit the kitchen, you'll see there can be 8 businesses operating simultaneously out of there at any time, but there is a maximum capacity for the number of businesses that we can actually work with in that particular space. So as we accept new businesses, we, on the other end, need to also be identifying opportunities for businesses that have been in our program to sort of take the next step in their journey.
Are you a nonprofit?
We are a nonprofit.
501c3?
Yep. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we actually generate 60% of our own revenue, which is really interesting for a nonprofit.
Okay, we're going to take a break here. Wow. Well, we're here, and we're talking about food. Oh my God, I'm so damn hungry right now. Phew. I ate a small breakfast this morning, but when you start talking about good food, La Cocina, family, a restaurant organization, entrepreneurial, that goes out and screens people, put people in their under their wing, as they used to say. We'll go old school with it. They take people under their wing and they nurse these people and they help them out, and then they put them into business. And we're talking, and I'm gonna say this, I was just totally blown away by Jessica. $3 million impact. Very few small business entities can say that. You guys are in the elites. You want to tell people how to get a hold of you, how to contact you, what to look for on your website, because and where all the ancillary businesses are?
Yeah, so if you go to our website, we actually just launched a brand new website last week, so we're really excited about it. There's a few things you can find there. You can go to the people page, you can find emails for everyone on staff. My email, like I mentioned earlier, is jessica@lacocinasf.org, and our website is lacocinasf.org. And on the website at the bottom, you can sign up for our newsletter, so you can sort of, stay up to date on everything that's happening with the organization and the work we're doing, and hear impact stories firsthand. You can also find the map with all of our businesses. And we also, on every page of our website, it's really important to us to give credit to the real power of La Cocina, which is our business owners. So all of their logos are there, which link to all of their websites. So you can see it at the bottom of every page. And you can find out lots of great information there about how our incubator program works. And if you have any questions, reach out to any of us. you can also follow us on social media, and all those links are on our website as well.
Big thing, really, really big thing, is can people donate to your 501c3? I think they can, right?
Yeah, so you can definitely donate, and we love our donors. We love our supporters. Today we just launched a brand new membership campaign. So for the first time, you can become a monthly sustaining donor of La Cocina, and as part of that, you get exclusive membership benefits like exclusive content. So you can get recipes from our entrepreneurs. You can get early access to all of our events, and
Recipes.
recipes.
You give recipes away?
Yeah, yeah. No, I almost don't want to mention this because it's so exciting and we can talk about it a lot. But two of our staff members, our deputy director and our executive director, who have worked at the organization collectively for, I believe, like 18 years. They are in the process of writing a cookbook with all of our La Cocina entrepreneurs featuring
Wow.
recipes that they are pitching out to publishers.
That's
just
amazing.
in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. But you can get a sneak peek by becoming a member by donating as little as $10 a month to our organization, and those are really the
2 packs of
donations.
cigarettes. That's
Exactly.
what it
One fancy cocktail.
is. Fancy cocktail.
Yeah. 2 mint mojito iced coffees.
Yeah, oh, that's what mojito. That's iced coffee. Oh my God, I just learned something.
Well, there's also a mojito like a cocktail. So.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the donations that sustain our organization and really make our
$10
life
a
possible.
week.
A month.
Oh, a month. $10 a
If you
month.
can give $10 a week, anything you can give, we are extremely, extremely grateful for.
That's no money.
What was that?
That's no money at all.
It's a pretty,
pennies.
yeah, it's doable, and it's also those donations, those individual contributions really add up and they really make a difference, and it's an opportunity to sort of put your money where your mouth is.
And then you'll be able to go to all these places and sample all this food.
And know that you are a part of creating them.
And isn't that so nice?
I think so.
Tangarola, I tell you.
You are making us so hungry.
I'm kind of hungry myself.
And this is Gina, the producer. I just wanted to remind everybody to check us out at www.siliconman.net to find all the information you need about all of us. And today it's the lovely Eyez, our co-host, the beautiful Jessica Mataka. That's just, we just want to run out and go eat something now. And the chief. with all his
Did you say the
craziness.
handsome chief?
No, I say with all his craziness. And we are on all the social media, so talk to us.
Yeah. Tell us what you think. We are, dang it, I'm hungry now. I like a good wet burrito right now.
I'm sure she has access to plenty burritos.
Oh, yeah.
Cupcakes.
And we're gonna back on out of here. Jessica Mataka from La Cocina, and Eyez. Eyez, I'm gonna learn to sing next week.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a duet.
Okay.
And we're gonna sing. I'm gonna sing like a songbird or something like that. Anyway, I thank you for tuning in today, and to the people at City Hall today that listened. I got your little shout outs and all your stuff in now. And don't forget, La Cocina, Jessica Mataka, and Eyez, and Gina, the whip cracker, baby.
Okay.
Gina keeps us in line. Amen. And we're going to back on out of here. We love you.